Welcome back to another Professional Picks college basketball video. We've been a little bit above even all year, but still waiting for that breakout week. We do have more games than usual to go through today, so I'm just going to give a quicker analysis and then try to explain where I'm leaning. But with that, we'll jump right into the video. As always, we have our partnership with Prize Picks. You can see there on the left, they'll match your first deposit up to $100 using our promo code ProPicks. Really great app, great for betting on college player props specifically because they let you to wager on things like a player's fantasy score. And for example, the flex play is essentially a built-in promo. If you get one of your legs wrong, you could still make some of your money back. And then the power play is your traditional parlay. Once again, the promo code is ProPicks to get your deposit matched up to $100. And this app is also usable in betting illegal states such as Texas, California, and Florida. So you guys should definitely take advantage of this if you're looking for more ways to bet on college sports or professional sports, and you are just running into that wall of being in a betting illegal state. With that, we'll get into the games. The first one we have is Illinois at Iowa. I have Iowa as a 2.5 point favorite, so pretty much even on a neutral court. And this is because Curbelo is still injured with a concussion, probably won't play. And Keegan Murray also is iffy with an ankle injury. He didn't play against Purdue, but they still gave him one of their closest games all season long. But this game really comes down to, is Keegan Murray going to play? He averages almost 25 points per game. And his brother, Chris Murray, is still a very good player, but having Keegan in there to just control the paint and provide scoring from pretty much every level is huge for this team. And I think the obviously key player for Illinois, Kofi Coburn, averages about 20 points, double-digit rebounds, but they're going to need Coleman Hawkins to really play good defense if Keegan Murray plays. But I still like Illinois' chances on the road because Alfonso Plummer has really come along of late, especially since being put into the starting lineup. He's put up 31 points, then 21, and then 24 in his 3 starts. And just having him and Kofi should be a little bit too much offensive firepower for Iowa if they do play without Keegan Murray. And regardless, I think Kofi should have a really good day, even if Keegan Murray plays. So I'm going to take the plus 2.5, but I would also take this at money line in just hopes of Keegan Murray not playing, or at least being a little rusty with his injured ankle. And then the next game we have is Texas Tech at Tennessee. Tennessee looks a lot better ever since getting blown out by Villanova. They haven't lost a game since then. Just really balanced scoring, and Kennedy Chandler looks like a lottery pick. This game is actually Madison Square Garden, so I'm not going to have Tennessee as too big of favorites here. I'm going to put them at -4. That's our projected spread. And I think Texas Tech is just getting a little bit too much love after just a bunch of their good players leaving in the last couple seasons. They're led by Terrence Shannon, who's just a really good all-around player, plays great defense, athletic wing. And this Texas Tech team still relies on defense. Don't have a particular great score, but they're all gritty, athletic players. I just think Tennessee outscores them here. They hit more threes. They're just more efficient all-around team. And I just think Tennessee really dominates this game in the long run, especially in the second half. I think Texas Tech is a pretty good team, but this is going to be a down year for them. And then the next game we have is Michigan at Nebraska. And then this one I have it as a 10-point spread. This might be a little bit too big, but I just think Michigan runs away with this one. Michigan's strength is their size with Hunter Dickinson and Musa Diabate. And I just think they dominate Nebraska on the inside in this game, where Nebraska is really weak. Michigan should control rebounds and then just paint scoring. And that should really just carry them throughout the entire game. For example, Nebraska's leading rebounder is their freshman guard. Bryce McGowan's listed there. He's also their their leader in scoring. I just don't think Nebraska has enough other options. Alonzo Verge has been a good player, but a little bit too inconsistent. They might be able to cover a big spread, but I like Michigan to bounce back after the start they haven't wanted this year. I think they're still a good team, not as dominant as everybody expected, but I think they'll take care of business here at Nebraska. And then this is the later game on Tuesday night. This one's at 8 p.m., also at the Madison Square Garden. So I'm having Nova as 6-point favorites. Both of these teams are pretty similar and a little bit undersized, just relying heavily on perimeter shooting. But I think Nova has the defensive advantage, and Nova also is fourth best in the country in turnovers per game. I think this just provides them with the extra possessions and opportunities they need to pull this one out. Just Justin Moore, Colin Gillespie, and then you go to Jermaine Samuels. I think Villanova wins pretty much every one of these player matchups, especially on the defensive end. This game will probably be very high scoring. If you get this line a little bit above 140, I would also advise taking the over, but I'll take Villanova up to -6. I just hate betting against Syracuse right now because obviously both these teams hit a lot of threes, but if you get Villanova -6 or better, I would take them for this game. And then the next game we have here is UConn versus West Virginia. I think West Virginia is overperforming a bit. They're led by Taz Sherman, and their defense, for the most part, as pretty much every West Virginia team has been. But Taz Sherman averages 21 points per game, and that's 30% of West Virginia's offense. I think that's just way too much focus and usage on one guy. They don't really get enough scoring from anywhere else on their team. I think if he just plays an off game, UConn easily wins this one. It is in Morgantown, so that's why I have the spread so close, and also have West Virginia actually as the favorites. But I think UConn's worth a money line play here. They have RJ Cole, Tyler Polley, they got Gaffney. They just have way more options, better depth, and better overall scoring. I think West Virginia is going to get a little bit exposed. They might end up getting ranked, but I just think they've taken advantage through weaker opponents so far this year, and their loss against the only good team they've played is by 4 to Providence, which isn't too impressive, although it's still only one loss on the season. And then the other game we have on Wednesday night is Indiana at Wisconsin. I don't think anybody on Wisconsin can guard Trace Jackson Davis. He's just freak athlete, dunks on everybody, and especially Wisconsin. I think this is a tougher matchup for them. It is in Madison, so that's why I have Wisconsin -5. Wisconsin's also picked up some good wins as of late, beating Marquette, beating Georgia Tech at Georgia Tech. They're going to be favorites going into this one. I just think Indiana has much better interior play. They're going to grab more rebounds with Race Thompson as well. Miller Kopp should bounce back. Didn't score last game after scoring over 20 in the previous one against Syracuse. I just think Indiana is a much more balanced team, whereas Wisconsin relies very heavily on Johnny Davis and Brad Davison, two great players, both ends of the court, but I don't see them carrying Wisconsin through the Big Ten, at least yet. And then the very last game we have is Michigan State at Minnesota. I think Michigan State could be even bigger favorites this game. Minnesota is undefeated on the season. It's pretty much everyone's surprise. And they did pick up a good win at Mississippi State. So you can't just say Minnesota hasn't beaten anyone so far. Definitely led by Jamison Battle and then Peyton Willis. They provide almost all the scoring. And those are both their guards. They just are a very small team, don't grab a lot of rebounds. And Michigan State has played a lot better competition already on the year. Gabe Brown's made that jump forward to being a captain for this team. And after looking pretty bad against Kansas on opening night, Michigan State has looked very solid throughout the rest of the year. Tyson Walker, Max Christie, Gabe Brown we already mentioned, but Julius Marble, they're all getting comfortable in their roles. Rebounding great. They average 6 more rebounds per game than Minnesota, 3 more assists per game, 3 more blocks per game than Minnesota, and all while playing tougher competition. I think Michigan State runs away with this one. If you get them at -5, better or worse, this one's a tougher line for me to read, but I think Michigan State's a solid play at pretty much any line you could get it at in this one. And then just our quick recap. We got Illinois traveling to Iowa tomorrow night. I'm personally taking Illinois spread. Hopefully it's like +2, +3. Also think the money line's a great play with the way Alfonso Plummer has been scoring the ball. And then with just Keegan Murray battling that ankle injury as being such a dominant player for Iowa. The next one, Michigan. Hopefully you could get some value on them. I just think they're way bigger than Nebraska, should bounce back. They're preseason top 10 for a reason. And then Texas Tech at Tennessee. Texas Tech just doesn't have enough scoring for me. They defend very well, but Tennessee has a ton of depth. These guys are getting comfortable. Tennessee is going to continue to play better throughout the year. It's at Madison Square Garden. They don't want to get embarrassed on a national stage again, like they did against Villanova. And then speaking of Villanova, very similar team to Syracuse, but Villanova just has all the intangibles, and that's going to be the difference. Both great perimeter shooting teams. It's going to be a high scoring game. But Villanova takes care of the ball a lot better, and they play much more sound defense and less fouling than Syracuse does. I'm going to take Villanova up to -6 in that one. And then that brings us to our next game with Connecticut traveling to West Virginia. And this is where I really like Connecticut. I know it's in Morgantown. Home teams have been playing pretty well so far on the year. But I just think as of now, West Virginia is a fraud by just more of a roster view. UConn has a lot more solid players, balanced scoring. And if Taz Sherman doesn't play well, I don't know how UConn doesn't win this game. And then we're going to Wisconsin. And this is just more into the belief of Trace Jackson Davis should not be able to be stopped in this one. Stephen Crowell and Ben Wall on Wisconsin are not athletic enough, big enough to really put up too much of a fight, along with Race Thompson, who's been dominating the boards. Indiana should be able to keep this within 5 points if you get a spread of Indiana +5 or +4 even. You should take that and hopefully get some value here on a Wisconsin team that's been overperforming. And then similar situation, Michigan State should also dominate the paint and the rebound and just the glass in this one on the road. Another Big Ten game. Also think Minnesota's been overperforming, similar to Wisconsin. Get some value on Michigan State here and just take them to win the game pretty handily. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know what you're taking in the comments, whether you disagree, agree with me, or if you're betting on any other games. I would love to have a conversation with you guys, and I hope everyone has some good luck this week. And remember to like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We would really appreciate it.